So it looks like some of you have some experience in this area, and some of you may not yet. So that's just sort of set the scene as to where you may be coming from in your practice. So just a quick couple of slides. We don't want to go too technical here, but I think just as an intro, there are different types of currencies that those you might have heard that are very popular. It includes Bitcoin, Ether, Ripple, or other ones like Dogecoins. But there are different categories. So this chart is not. It doesn't include everything, but so most of the types you might have heard before. So basically, we call them crypto or maybe tokens or a digital asset. Sometimes you can hear different terms, but basically you have one type that can be used as a medium of exchange, like a store of value or a unit of account. So a Bitcoin can be like that in terms of more like a barter type of concept. More like a payment type token is sort of the more general one that you might have heard of. You've also got the utility tokens, which they carry some function. So it's a coin that maybe give you access to a certain platform, and you can then use it to do something. Like, for example, you can use it to maybe buy or use it as a fee payment, different things, like one or more use. And it usually is linked to some kind of function on a platform. Stable coins you might have heard, so those might include, they're usually backed by some kind of asset, reserve asset. So it might be two big ones are USDC and Tether. USDC is issued by Circle, and Tether is also a very mainstream one. It's always almost pegged to the dollar, so it's like around $1 or 0.99 in terms of the price. A fourth category is what we call asset-backed tokens. So it might be backed by real estate. So maybe you will see that some offerings are buying tokens, and that tokens entitle you to a share of different types of underlying real estate. So for example, in the US, there are some funds that structure themselves with tokens, and then the fund itself actually buys different real estate properties. And so instead of issuing like a partnership interest, they issue tokens. So similar concept. So it's backed by real estate, for example. That's quite a popular one. Another type of security tokens, basically it gives you rights similar to a security or stock where you can vote. You have sort of, there's not really dividends, but there's some kind of rights attached to it beyond just using it to buy something, to pay for something, or to exchange for another item. And that gets into tricky areas like the securities law, or is it a security for legal purposes and for tax purposes. And then you've also got the CBDCs, which are tokens issued, regulated by the central banks of the governments, right? So several governments have already looked into whether to issue CBDCs, including the US. I think China also looked at it. And then there's another type that's not technically crypto, and so we didn't include it on the list, but it's quite a hot term, NFT, non-fungible tokens. So it has the name tokens, and it's a non-fungible type, meaning it basically is derived from a variety of linked assets, but it's not technically crypto. It is a type of digital token where each token is different and it holds different characteristics. And so it is to be distinguished from crypto like Bitcoin or Ether, which can be replicated and exchanged for another. So an example of NFT might be a digital art. So digital image or some kind of art. So that's quite popular, and you see a lot of people trading for that. But so I thought I would mention that as part of the slide.